How's it going, everybody? Can you hear me all right? Looks like levels are good. How's it going? We can either today work on some more Batman stuff or work on the beauty. Whatever you guys want to do. I so I posted a new banner online. I got a new banner for going to cons, and I'm trying out something completely different. And I think I'm gonna put together like some sort of video on like packing up for cons because there is an art to it. Like hey Sally, I like how to have everything compact and how to have everything like look good at your table, and like trying to figure all that stuff out is kind of overwhelming. And also a lot of people, I feel like, kind of like fall into the same kind of things over and over again, like all booths. Hey Dave Jordan, I don't know if you're still here because apparently you're out, but hello. um but yeah, I feel like people kind of fall into the same kinds of things. And you know, going to cons, there's like little things that you can do that are cheap, that are easy, that are kinds of like quick things that'll make your booth like look really good. So I think we're gonna talk about that at some point, or I'm making a video and put it up on YouTube. But but yeah, so we'll see what's going on with that. But I have an image of it actually. You guys probably saw it if you follow me on Twitter, because I posted it, and it got like more likes than my regular artwork, which wasn't insulting at all. That was fine. I'm like emotionally okay with that, you know. totally fine. Here, we'll kick it over. So this is what I'm trying. This is what I'm trying out. So rather than having a banner stand that you like, that is like retractable in like a thing. That's because you have two banners now. Yeah, two banners makes me emotionally okay with this. That's the joke. Everybody makes that joke. But look, in my defense, I didn't come up with this idea. I took this idea from other people who were doing two banners. Matt Garvey's here. Everybody calm down. So like, the idea with having two banners instead of one banner is like, okay, so when I got my first banner, I got a really wide one, figuring, you know, it would look good, and it does look good. It does look good. A lot of artists come to conventions with like a very small, narrow banner that they put up, and it's okay, and it does the job. You say go three banners. I'm gonna talk about that in a second. So yeah, what's up, Fake McCoy, by the way? So I saw some people doing like two banners that were like narrow guys. So like, this looks bigger than it is actually. Like I think the each banner is like something like 20 something inches wide. So it's probably like 40 something total. It's wider than my wide banner right now. And the thing about my wide banner is it's fine. It does the job. But like, I have to put it in a banner bag, and then I have to check that bag onto a plane. And if I'm checking that bag onto a plane, I can't put any books in there. So I'm checking like two bags onto the plane. Double banners going all out. Yeah. We call it the double wide. So if I like check a duffel that has like, you know, books and stuff in it, and I'm up to like 50 to 70 pounds or whatever the thing is, and then I check a banner bag that's like no pounds at all, but like I can't actually bring with me onto the plane, then like I'm losing out on the ability to like, you have to check your banner too and bring a carry-on full of books. Yeah. See, like, so this is what I'm talking about. So fast forward 3 years, I've got 7 banners. I'm getting a half a table, 7 banners. You can't even see me. It's the perfect plan. So the idea with this banner setup is that like you can't really see it in the pic, but like there is if you go on Amazon right now or whatever. Actually, we could just do it. I want to do it off screen just to make sure that nothing weird pops up. I got this idea because like I saw Robert doing something similar. So like here is a green screen. This is kind of the setup that like is the green screen behind me. And I saw Robert do this where he kind of like hangs a banner at the top of the green screen and then a bunch of his prints down the thing. And I was like, this is a good idea, like, because this thing will pack up into a very small space and you can fit this in a duffel bag, no problem. So like the idea is that you would, all these like telescoping things like all fold up together and you would be able to roll up these banners and the telescoping things like all together and put it in a duffel and then be able to carry more books, t-shirts, stickers, whatever you're selling. You'll be able to bring more of it. And I think that's a positive thing. So if you're going to pay for the bag, you might as well use all the weight you can possibly use. So that's what this is like trying to take advantage of. Someone's building a Fortis next con. So in addition, I had a second like kind of stand-up banner that I was putting prints on for a while when I was selling prints. I haven't sold prints in a couple of years now, but that like it's like a felt banner that you can like velcro the prints to and they'll stay there. It's just black, and that can also hang off this rig. So now I can bring less of that banner, hang all three up, and be totally good. So yeah, I'm excited to put this, like, this is what it is in theory, but like taking it to a show, taking it to a convention is like a whole other ball game. You know, you don't know, some cons don't allow setups like that. Oh, always read the rules. I mean, look, yes, some cons don't allow setups, but like every single con is like, hey, in the rules, what's up, Starta Zeta? Every single con is like, hey, in the rules, don't put 25-foot tall like wall of prints that are all headshots of every character, but it still doesn't stop people who are doing that. Like, I think like there are rules and then there are rules. if that makes any sense. What I'm saying is break all the rules you can break until they kick you out. But if they do kick you out, Zeta, yeah. All right. Oh, okay. It's like misp in Spanish. Oh, okay. All right. The rules say you're supposed to charge sales tax and everything. Yeah, like there's a lot of rules surrounding Comic-Cons, and I find that mostly you can just show up and unpack and nobody's gonna mess with you. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they'll mess with you if you have less published work out. Maybe, I don't know. I've never gotten messed with. I don't know. Maybe the rules were more lax when I was starting. I have no idea. Guy behind us at my last con had one of those green screen rails, and we hated him for it. Oh no. Is this my future, Matt Garvey? Is this what I'm looking forward to? Sales tax thing got you in trouble when you're in Missouri. Ooh, they're more like guidelines. Yeah. Not a call out, but oh man, everyone who has a table near an exit at the block of tables has got to be more mindful of where they place their banners. Yeah, so like I was in a corner at this last Heroes Con in Canada. Those sales tax rules are different. It took months for me to convince them that I only owed $10 in sales tax and not the $8,000. What? $8,000? How many books are you moving? $8K? That is nuts. Oh, Yeah, so like I was on a corner and it was good that I did not have a wide banner because I was next to Robert who has a wide banner and a similar setup. And uh I barely had any room to put up the banner stand anyway, and people were trying to get out. Yeah, 8K sounds like a story. You're moving enough books to warrant $10 in sales tax. There you go. At any rate, so yeah, if you're on the corner, it can create some problems. Um, so be mindful. I mean, you're gonna find out where you're sitting every con. So like, if I know, like they'll release seating charts before the convention. So if I know that I'm gonna be sitting next to a buddy of mine who's got a regular banner, then like the wide banner is all good, and we're in like the middle of the aisle, no problem. If I'm on the corner and I know I'm sitting next to Robert, I might want to bring my a narrower banner. The only corner I could get out of at Heroes was Sabella's, but I keep having to pass behind Brian Level, who's doing commissions. Don't bump into him. Don't bump into him. He'd just make it work. He's that talented. Yeah. Sorry about that. I feel like that was less me though, and more the people on like the all other corner. Like there's just no room. There's just no room. You just got to deal with it, I guess. End caps are rough for setup. Yeah, for sure. Let's get into what we're working on while I finish this beverage. So we can either still work on the Batman stuff, work on the backgrounds there, add a ton of detail, and then drown out all the detail as we want to do for that, or we can work on a beauty cover from Annie MacDonald. Whatever you guys. Hey, the Boix is here. Welcome to High Society. Subscribe for nine years in a row. What an absolute unit. Boix just ran Pepsi Man at Summer Games Done Quick. I have yet to catch the VOD, but I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to catch it tomorrow morning, probably. I hear that it was an electrifying performance. At the last show you're at, you kept knocking over the guy next to me books every time you got up. Oh, God. Whew. Man. The truth is that, like, with conventions, we're just, like, pinned in there. And every single convention is different with, like, how much room they give you. Heck yeah, what are we coloring today? Try to figure that out. So, we can kick it over to Photoshop. So this is what we got going on. We have this Batman piece, and we can continue to work this background and add a bunch of light sources in and stuff, because I think that I've finished figuring out how to battle with my Wacom, and I think the Wacom's gonna work. And now that I've said that, it probably will not work, but we could do that, or we could do this Annie MacDonald piece. Kept blocking the aisle, but that's because Kreese kept using his extra chair as storage, so he could never sit down. Hey, that extra chair is for him. He can do whatever he wants with that. So what do you guys want to do? I'm leaning towards coloring this beauty cover, because I feel like I just gotta give this guy a break for a hot minute. If you guys have no preference, we'll work on some beauty stuff. Dave, just climb over the other Dave next. There can only be one Dave anyway. So this beauty cover, I'm going to jump in since nobody has any objections. This beauty cover is by Annie MacDonald, so we should probably change the bottom text crawl here. I should probably also finish my beverage at some point. The beauty 25. Let's make sure that we get his Twitter handle right. You should add the woman from the beauty cover to the Batman page. It was all like kind of the same the same color scheme, weirdly. Maybe that was like where my head was at. But I don't know if we're going to keep this color scheme for the beauty. All right. We're good. Let's change the... Can we change the... I'm trying to figure this out. Kate says hi. Hey, Kate. How's it going? You guys are posting a ton of pictures from GDQ. I had to think about it for a second. I've been digging it. I was looking to see if we could change the title, but I think I have to actually get into my dashboard. Give me 1 second. Bear with me, ladies and germs, as I figure this out. It will only be a moment. All right. I think we're all set. We're all good to go. Okay. So, you remembered you can mobile chat. There you are. Excellent. You don't have to speak through the voice as one individual. He's a very professional Dave. Oh my god, there's a lot of Daves going on in the chat. So, okay, let's figure out what we're doing. So, The Beauty is a really interesting book. Here are covers that we've done before. These are covers that are not out yet, so you're getting a sneak peek that you probably shouldn't get. Don't tell anybody. Don't tell a single person. But like, here are some previous Beauty covers. I did this one like green one with this complex mask. Your real name is Dave. Oh no. Airport breakfast. Jeez. There's like missed connections that are happening in the chat right now. So like, this is an example of something that I would think of as one of my more successful Beauty covers. And that is like, The Beauty is supposed to look like a magazine, like a fashion magazine, a high fashion magazine, and I feel like it needs some sort of design element to it a lot of the times to like make it kind of like work right. It should look like a fashion shoot. Like, this looks like a fashion shoot, and obviously their skin turns to like this porcelain. This was the first one I ever did. So yeah, and then this was the previous issue's cover. So we got to keep this stuff in mind when we're working on this cover. So we got to make it like interesting and engaging and maybe have a design element to it. A lot of the Beauty cover stuff is about like I'll do all the nuts and bolts of the coloring, but then just start experimenting and like trying to figure out how to get it to where I want it. Are you guys ready for fashion pictures? You guys ready for the fashion show? So like, here are ladies in fur-lined jackets, and like all of this stuff is pretty boring. So like, I don't know if like we're gonna be using any of this kind of thing. Like, the idea of making it like a white background is kind of interesting to me. One of the things that I feel like we're gonna have to make a decision of when we get to it is the fur around the hood. So Andy did this kind of like cross-hatching brushwork, and we're gonna have to figure out if we can, I don't know, like mimic his mark making or throw it away and just kind of like do whatever we want. I'm trying to look for other fur. It's just like people on like runways. There's no like cover. Oh my god. Look at this. Just the never smiles. Grumpiest man. World's grumpiest man. You heard it from me. I've used my inside connections at comics to meet Kanye West, and he is the world's grumpiest man. Do you guys know that anybody who works in comics can meet anyone else? That's how comics works. Why would you wear jeans with holes with that jacket? If it's cold enough for a fur-lined jacket, then you'll probably get frostbite. Oh, but that's what you got to do when you suffer for fashion. So like, it's cold, and the only reason I'm talking about all this stuff is because like we need to think before we start, and I think that's a critical step that sometimes gets overlooked. You should start wearing those coats. You think you should really pull it off? Yeah. I need to take the last sip of this coffee and put it away. I did not learn my beverage lesson. I apologize. This is a good idea, to think or to finish the beverage. Maybe both. All right. So Are we going ripped jeans? Oh my god. Look at this one. I don't know what's happening in that jacket. Is it falling apart on purpose? Whew. I'm getting text messages from other projects. This is a good idea. That coat, Kappa B. Yeah. So, all right. Let's figure out what we're gonna do with the color scheme. We don't have to keep it this blue. In reality, let's ground it back in regular reality. I mean, we can make the scarf any color, and we can make the parka any color. So I mean, there's really only just like a few things to manage. There's only a few elements where we have to make these things like all work. Obviously, we're not gonna do yellow because the last cover was yellow, and we don't want to. We want to keep things a detailed mannequin. I don't know. 100% NYC Ray fur. Yeah, rat fur. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't. Are you guys ready for the stream where we don't do any art and we just look at fur coats? Are you guys ready for that stream? Because that's what we've been doing. I don't... Like, is this what high fashion looks like? This doesn't... She's gonna fall down. I don't... I'm flabbergasted. I apologize. All right. Let's focus up. So right now we're very like what's the word? We're very local Joe. Like we got blues, we got reds, we got whatever. Like we can make the fur any color we want. Let's just like put a wash down of any kind of color. Oh, and we're going to try a different technique. We're going to try to do the kind of Tamra technique with this, but I don't know if we're going to necessarily make it exactly like hers. Those, never mind, focusing up. Yeah. Yeah, we got to focus up. So I don't know if we're going to totally do what Tamra does, which is like a million layers and a lot of masks, but the advantage that she has with masking stuff off is that like she can tweak the colors on the fly. Like I feel like a lot of times because I'm using a palette, I'll fall into, and this might be true of you at home as well, where I'll fall into like using a particular, like, I'll end up with a certain mix of colors. Like I know how certain colors in my palette work well with other colors. So in order to like change it up, I've been kind of trying to like bend it with like the hue and saturation a little bit. Francis Maniple also colors that way. Yeah. Interesting. So like what I was going to say is that like one of the advantages of coloring that way is that like if we do, and I'm super fast and loose with this right now. Don't judge these cuts. We're gonna be I'm using the mouse. I am not using the tablet. Like, all right. So like, this is the face. This is a face. Welcome to a face. Let's set it to screen and throw like a yellow through it. So that's yellow. But from here we could kind of like bend the hue and saturation to be like whatever we want. Like maybe that pink looks better. And I took a very desaturated yellow, so maybe that wasn't a good example. But like, here's a blue. And we can kind of take that blue and be like, okay, maybe a pink, maybe, I don't know. We can kind of play with color combinations that we normally would not get to play with. Set this to normal, correct. Yeah. So like this is bright orange. And it looks like the blue is really only reacting with like a pink or another blue. And that might be because like, you know, everything's light. But we can put it on the hood because it's going to receive light from all the same kind of like light source. So maybe we'll put it on the hood, put it on the scarf. Put it back here. Like this is being hit with orange light. And then we can control inverse and then kind of put down a shadow layer. And this is kind of like I know what you're thinking right now. You're thinking, oh God, what happened? But like drop the opacity on this. And then it's like, all right, from here we can kind of like figure out like where we want to live. And I don't know if I would be able to do this on regular pages because I feel like we would this might take too much time. Watch out, been in Gainesville too long. You were actually thinking, oh, this might actually end well? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. We'll see. So, like, we can take these colors and then shift the wash that we did, too. Like, the whole wash can, like, move in a direction. We can take just the shadows and just shift the shadows in the wash as well. But like I feel like we're just ending up in a place where I normally end up anyway, which is this kind of like cyan magenta kind of place. And we're avoiding yellow on purpose. So I don't know if this is actually like all of these steps that we've done over here on the right, like all of these layers, all of these steps. For what? For what? I'm kind of like, I don't know. Is this something that I want to adopt in what we're doing? Maybe we do like less opacity. We could also the advantage to this too, and working this way with the line art on top, is that we can also do like levels, gradients, patterns, blah 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 blah, but also gradient maps and color balance layers, so we can kind of push it more green or push it like kind of bend it in one way or the other. Is there a way you could do normal process and adopt this technique for specific parts? Yeah, I think that like a lot of, I mean, I talked about this last stream where I think that, sorry, I'm like thinking about these. We've made this very very neon, which is actually kind of great. Maybe this is the place we want to live. Wow, maybe this is the place we want to live. I was actually thinking about this. I was talking about this last stream where it's like, okay, if I'm not going to do exactly what make everything hot pink, if I'm not going to do exactly what Tamra does, so we can take this red and we're just gonna fill it. What was it before? I've already forgotten. Screen 36%. All right, screen 36%. I guess we're going full Tamra. And this is multiply 42. Multiply 42. All right, so this is how she does these, at least as far as I know. Make everything hot pink. Plaid hype. This is more the way that you work, man. Maybe this is yeah. We're edging into solid layers with masks. I was just trying to figure out where we were supposed to end up with the actual color. I was messing with all the color first. I'm looking for my art glove and I can't seem to find it. It was with the coffee. So from here, we can kind of like go into the layer mask and do what we need to do. So let's figure this out. By the way, oh, and we can turn the balance back on. So the balance, look at how much the balance affects this. It's kind of wild. All right, I have to. This doesn't help me on the other monitor. I should probably close that. That's nothing but distracting. So yeah, so this is the thing. I was like, I've been kicking around is like, okay, so if Tamara's working this way, and she is getting results that are, oh hello, this is not the adjustment I wanted to make. Come on. There we go. If Tamara's working this way, and she's getting like a more painterly kind of thing going on, which is something that like I'm trying to do more of, and you can see that in like places like the Realm. And like the thing that I'm struggling with is speed. Like I can't like get the Realm to be fast enough. Like it just isn't. And beauty covers take a long time for me. And the reason for that is because like I will sit here and like noodle on stuff. So I think this is probably a good thing to like figure out, maybe how to get a little more painterly, a little more quickly. And I also think that the advantage to this is that once you kind of like figure it out, um, see, this is the thing is like now oh, I'm like trying to grab I'm so used to the way that I work is that I'm trying to be like, oh, just gonna grab this color and like pull a grad through it, and it's like, well, that's not the way we do things anymore. Like, not in this method. We work black and white exclusively. Um, so let's see. So like that's our mask right now, and we can throw like weird highlights in the background. I don't know if that necessarily works, but we're gonna try it for now. What I think is gonna happen is we're gonna roll with these masks and kind of like play in this space, and then once we get to the end, we're gonna like do a layer of like refinement on top of everything. Where like, you know, instead of having this be this kind of like reddish chunk, we're gonna start to like, you know, play with it a little bit more, get it to be closer to white, maybe. But I think that this way also lends itself to experiment with color a little bit more, like end up with colors that I wouldn't normally pick, just because like the program is thinking about it differently. Um, I wonder. All right, we have to. Whoa, hello. We're back. We're back. My palm has been hitting like. Am I RGBing it? No, this is not RGB. At least I don't think it is. No, this is CMYK. Um, does it look like RGB? That might be a good thing. I mean, we're saturated as fuck. Like, so it might look RGB. Um, I've been noticing that I so like this is the red. Wow. So I'm sorry. I'm trying to like wrap my brain around this. Hey Dallasar. Yeah, so now we're working on the layer with the red. So now we're getting like a kind of more painterly mixed kind of palette. We were instead removing shadow, and now we are adding highlight. This is like a totally different way for me to work than I'm used to. Which is all right. You know, like we get out of our comfort zone, and you know, in general, covers are like a fantastic place. Andy MacD's nuts. That's where I'm at right now. Yeah, I mean, I was wondering since. Oh, you were wondering because trying a like Tamra thing. Yeah. No, we aren't like totally like Tamra. We're trying to like. Oh my god. Lately my touch screen has been going nuts. Like okay. The last stream we did where I realized that I was not able to like do any fine detail work, that my pressure sensitivity wasn't working at all. Like that stream, I realized that my drivers for my Wacom are just like, they're just kind of fucked. Like, I don't understand why, but for whatever reason, we're hybriding. Yeah, for sure. Use the Cintiq Pro. I have a 24-inch Cintiq HD Touch is what I use. It's a few years old at this point. Um, yeah, we are full on hybriding. So we're adding shadow to this cover that we got rid of with the grad there. And we can switch back and kind of like add in highlights by getting rid of the shadow. I think that, by the way, this hood is going to be the death of us. I feel like most of this project is going to be like, how do we make this fur hood look like fur? And you know, I was thinking about this. I was like, we should have opened up something else we did on stream for me to reference. Let me find it. The digital painting we did of Chad Thomas's Vulture. So we did this, and I liked the way that this the like fur around the vulture turned out. But looking at it now, I don't know if this helps us at all. Because I forgot what brush we used. I think we used the brush that I'm using right now. I think it's just going to be about like working it until it looks good. Yeah. So my drivers are shit. Like Cintiq, it just like craps out on me. The drivers will work for a period of time, and then all of a sudden it'll just be like, oh, we're not going to work anymore. And the Cintiq just like gives up the ghost. And it's total bullshit. It's total bullshit. I don't know why it does it, and I've pinged Wacom to see if they have a response, if it's like a known issue or what. But I've also talked to the colorist chat room, and nobody else is having this issue. So with control to pen pressure or fade. So like my brush settings right now are just fade. I'm laying down kind of a trying to figure out like I'm just trying to like lay down texture right now and then kind of like work from here. So it will, hey, how's it going? Sorry, I feel like super distracted with this stream, and I apologize to you for that, but I think it's because I'm trying new things and I can't shut off my brain. We're just trying to like lay down a little bit of texture with the mark making that we're doing right now. I'm actually not thinking about trying to make it look like fur yet. I'm just trying to play with the color and just try to put down texture. What I think is going to happen is eventually we will put down a layer on top of everything else, and kind of like start to mess with the fur that way. But I like the way the face turned out. There's like weird like purple pinks going on in there. We may need to do like another layer of color in there. Just because like the like under the eyes should be like a little bit darker, and so we gotta kind of figure that out. But for now, we're pretty good. Like I said, we're just trying to figure out like where the color lands and how to get there. And I think this is what Tamara does too. Like, this is very, very like rudimentary, like light shadow done. And this is, I think, one of the things that like frustrates me with this technique is like, I just want to like grab another color, put it in, and be done with it. But like, this is how Tamara ends up with like 5 different layers for things, because like, you know, you need like a highlight and a shadow, and then you need a like high highlight and low shadow. You know, like you start to like really dissect how this thing plays out. And I wonder if by the way, I wonder if like this is good. Like we're doing it on a cover, but I wonder if like in the regular like page to page stuff, in controlling the color of the scene, this would be like really advantageous. You know, like if making the scene changes like really really work. Hello. I don't know if I like that. But, you know, if you like batch, you know, like shadows are always this color, highlights are always this color for this whole scene, then you don't have to like, I end up, as a colorist, like color picking a lot from scene to scene to make everything work. This is not what I wanted to do. Maybe we should tweak the hue and saturation of that thing. Man, I'm like, I'm equal parts, by the way, like, I'm sorry I'm not as chatty. I'm equal parts frustrated and elated at like our results. I feel like there's stuff that I want to do that I'm used to doing that I don't know how to do. That's frustrating me. And there's stuff going on here that's different than what I normally do that is interesting me. So it's we're in a weird place. is what I'm trying to say. The real question is like, are we gonna abandon this Andy MacDonald mark making that's happening around the hood and stuff? And should we backlight the hood? Maybe we should try to get it close to what is going on back here. Now I'm not using any of the layers. I am just like doing what I normally do, which is like paint on top of the thing. This is basically where you've been with scripting all year, so you hear ya? Yeah. Are you saying that you're like, I'm trying something new and it's frustrating but also really creatively inspiring? Is that what you're saying? This is me. I'm currently like, I'm making all these marks on this new layer on the top, and I'm basically doing it to be like, hey, this is what I'm normally used to. Like this is the Nickfil layer over here in the corner on top of everything. Like, let's just get back to what we normally do. We do have also like, there's all these kind of like cross-hatchy brushes. Like we can roll with what Andy MacDonald put down as far as like, you know, like this is what it looks like for I don't know if this is necessarily the place we want to be though. Maybe in the edges. Just to get like the mark making in, so that I'm not like totally ignoring it. Is that proper noun, Nick Flaherty, or verb, Nick Flaherty? When we try, it's frustrating, but later it's worthwhile. Yeah. I mean, like, this is the thing I was talking about before too in the previous video, where I'm like, Tamara has this figured out, and this is something that like I could, if I didn't give a shit about comics, like I could sit around and be like, oh, I'm just doing what I do. Like, I don't need to learn this stuff. Or I could give a shit and I could be like, hey, maybe I should learn how to do this. And the other thing is like, she just colored Annie MacDonald on, man, this fur is going to drive me nuts. She just colored Annie MacDonald on Multiple Man. You guys should all get Multiple Man. It was out this past Wednesday. Was that yesterday? It was out yesterday. So you can see like what she's doing with Annie MacDonald's work in real time. Let me think about this for a second. Maybe another layer on top of this. What would it look like if you left this section of the fur that's empty pretty flat and just some marks around the edges? I was thinking about that, and that's why I kind of like added a screen in there just now. I'm thinking about mostly drowning it out. I ordered it. Glad you did. Yeah, nice. I actually just bought it before I went live on this stream. I haven't read it yet. I'm excited to read it tonight. What does this brush do? Huh. This is a weird brush. Yeah, let's try just like drowning this thing out. I'm gonna use the thumbprint brush and just the thumbprint brush has like a little bit of texture to it. See, I don't know. I think maybe we're off the rails. Like we can do something like that and then just like knock out the line art and then like call it a day. But like I kind of don't want to do that. Here's the thing. When you get to a place like this, when you work on anything, there's a point where you can be like, well, like we can do this and we can call it done to a degree. Like I can jazz this up a little bit with some highlights and knock out some of the line art and be like, we're done, you know? But like in truth, I want to like go the extra distance. And like if you're at home and you're watching this, you should want to as well. The like thing that is going to separate us from like I don't even know if we're going to keep this, but we are going to knock out the mark making. So let's just play in this space for just a minute. I feel like that's one of the things that's been like pushing me on the realm is that like I'll work it to a point, and this I was doing this a lot. I was talking to you guys about how when I was in my 20s and I was a little bit depressed and I was like, oh, like I wasn't taking comics as seriously. I was uh I'd work it until it was like until it hit a point where it was like, okay, if I turn this in, like it's good enough. No one's gonna be mad at me, but it's not like done. Like I know I could do more to it. And I was like, well, I'll just do more next time. I'll just do more next time. And I said that to myself like over and over and over again. And then I was like, oh, like this is why I'm not getting great jobs, is because like there's a there's a point where you can take it. We're just gonna back up, by the way. There's a point where you can take a piece and be quote unquote done. And then there's a point where you can be like, all right, I'm going to really exhaust all my options in making this look the best it can. And we're going to try to figure out what that is for this. Partly, this is why when we opened up the stream and I was like, hey, we could work on this, or we could work on the thing that I've been working on stream, the Batman pages, is because with the Batman pages, I have an idea that's like, I have a clear line. I have like, I know what the road is for those Batman pages. For this, I do not. And so it's a little bit scarier. Not gonna lie. It is a little bit scarier, but we'll figure it out. Let's grab actually this black. That it looks terrible. Let's grab this blue and jeez, these touch settings are like, I turn the touch, oh my god. I turned the touch settings off forever ago, and I haven't used them in a long time, and I think because I'm installing and reinstalling the drivers so much to get my fucking Wacom to work, I think it's like, oh, you want the touch settings on, and I'm like, no, this is not where I want to live. I don't want those touch settings. Let's figure out. Kind of figured out the hair, kind of. Jeez. See, the thing is like, if you look at the mask, it's like we can't get brighter than this. Like where this is as bright as we can get. This is the space that we are playing in. So maybe we just need like another like color on top to kind of, maybe not like that. Let's do like a color dodge. Yes, I know. Photoshop is like non-stop frustrating me, by the way, lately. It's I feel like everything lately that Photoshop has been throwing at me that's been new in the last couple of years has been just frustration after frustration. But it's fine. We'll power through, I guess. That's the job, to power through. So like I kind of want to do a around the hood like rim light, and this is gonna make more sense when this is lighter, and also probably this as well, maybe in the corner here. Maybe we can just paint it in. Yeah, we kind of can. Whew. Whew. Maybe things are turning around. I don't know if things are turning around. This is a weird stream because usually I come at you guys and I'm like, this is what we're going to talk about today. We're going to get real. I'm going to get real with you. And in reality, I'm just kind of like, I don't know if this will work. We're going to try this and we're going to hope for the best. It's also taking a lot of my concentration to kind of figure this out. Yeah, the bug that I was talking about that was frustrating me before was there is this bug in Photoshop where if you take a thing and you select it from this menu, there's this blue box over the menu, and this works for all drop-down menus in Photoshop. And in order to do anything else, you have to hit enter. Now the blue box has disappeared, and it's super fun. Thanks, Photoshop, for adding that step. That was real cool of you. Next stream. How to deal with frustration. Yeah. Oh. So a lot of times, and this is the same technique that I used with clouds, is that like I will kind of do these like big bold shapes and then smooth it out with a gradient later. So like even though it's looking a little rough here, and I can actually, do you guys want to see a realm cover where I did a bunch of stuff? It's not out yet. I don't know if I can actually show it to you. I probably shouldn't. We should probably let Jeremy reveal his own books. LOL, the Photoshop tutorial. Yeah. Should probably let Jeremy reveal his own books. I've already showed you enough. The beauty covers I showed you earlier, probably enough. But there is, I did some more cloud stuff on this last cover, and I'm sure it will be on my Twitter and Instagram like crazy, because a lot of it actually got covered up by the logo, which is totally fine. And it's my own mistake to, you know, get in there and be like, I'm gonna spend 4 hours doing these clouds, and then like, you know, I know the logo is gonna go there, but like, shit, man, that's the struggle, I guess. My mentality was like, oh, maybe eventually, no interruptions, keep painting. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, maybe eventually, if I keep doing that, my mentality is like, if I keep doing clouds, eventually, maybe clouds will become easier for me to deal with. I could be better at this. That's the goal. Is to always be better. Which is probably why we're here as well right now in this moment. I feel like I need like a Is this like the scratchy brush? Yeah, a little bit. Happy little clouds, always. I mean, and that was my process. And like, I feel like I'm in the same place here where I'm like, oh, we're just going to keep doing this until it's right. Like, I feel like we're starting to be in a place where it's like, oh, I can work it from here and maybe it'll be right. Just tap, tap, tap. Happy clouds, no accidents. I wonder if we could take this same, oh my god. Take this same, did we just back up? Thanks, Photoshop. What is happening right now? The touchscreen like just like really royally messed with me. We're taking just a little bit of this color dodge and we're putting it in the face as well. As like a high. And it's a little much in some places, so we can tone it down just a little bit. Man, we're getting some like real interesting colors in there, which is really neat. This is a little bit of a shit show still. Every time the touch control does something, by the way, just like it needles me. It needles me just ever so slightly. I'm gonna make sure that the touch controls are off for the next stream. Thank you, Steve. We're getting there, little by little. It does look a little bit fluffy. It's getting there. I wonder if we should like kind of fade it a little bit. Try to figure out exactly what I'm doing here. Add this like highlight in. I'm trying to like make some space that has like form to it. We're gonna add a little bit of noise with a splatter brush here. And then also do the reverse. I think we're getting closer. Um, the side of the hood that is hitting the right side of the image comes out too far. It's throwing off the overall shape of the hood for you. The side of the hood that's hitting... Okay, wait. I gotta... Hey, Graffiti Bandit. It looks so fluffy. The side of the hood that is hitting the right side of the image comes out too far. You mean you want it to go back further? Yeah, I agree. We haven't quite gotten there yet. I'm trying to like mess with this side, the left side a little bit more. We can... Whoa. We can push it back by... Let's save it. Let's save it, because I think there's good stuff in here. We can push back the line art a little. And we could probably do that down here as too. So I hear what you're saying. You actually mean the edge? It looks too straight. Oh, you mean like this? This? I see what you're saying. We're getting closer, that's for sure. We're certainly not getting further this stream. Yeah, right, edge. Yeah. Yeah, the edge was certainly getting like drowned out. Needs more curve. Well, it's supposed to, because it's a hood, the fur comes from the inside out kind of thing. At least I believe it does. Maybe we should check with our model. Or I guess it comes from like the flap in. This is kind of a weird thing. The fur hood. I feel like this is what Andy wanted to draw. Let's think about it for a second. So I think even though it comes from here, like middle of the hood, maybe we should have it curving over her face rather than curving away. Maybe that's the thing that I'm struggling with in the myriad of other things that I'm struggling with. Let's do a darker blue. Whoa. A darker blue multiplied down. Let's desaturate it a little. And set up this kind of like weird color. And use the mask again. Let's try to get in there with the... let's finish off the face. If I finish off the face, maybe I'll be a little more comfortable with everything else. Maybe. And maybe just like this darker blue is just kind of like what we need. Maybe this blue is the wrong color, though. Maybe we can make it a different color. We can mess with that because we're working in layers. A little bounce light in the eyes. We can kind of pull this back a little bit. I wonder if we queue in saturation. Headed out to Dice Tower Con next week. Nice. You going as a fan or as a you think the blue looks nice? Let's see our options. J.R. Kaufman, you headed out as a fan or as a tabling person? There are not really any options because our saturation is so low. This is probably fine. Blue looks fine. We can actually probably... Fan? Nice. You got your eyes on anything, or are you just going to see what happens when you're at the show? I've always wanted to attend... I go to so many conventions. Well, I go to so many. I go to I think I'm hitting 4 cons this year, 5 cons. But this is a light year for me, unfortunately, for conventions. I think I would love to head to a show one time and just go as a fan. I think that I think it would help me too figure out how to facilitate a better fan experience as well. So you went last year, 5 days of 24-hour-a-day board games. Nice. I was saying on the stream last stream, I was like, one of the things that I wish I could justify is playing board games all the time. I wish that I could put together a group of people to play board games with in my hometown, but it's just something I don't have any time for. Putting that reflected light on there. Yeah, I actually one of my favorite games is Clank, and they just released a new Clank, and I've barely played. They just released the Pyramids Curse or something like that. You don't think you're gonna make it to Rose City Comic Con? Aw, that sucks, dude. I'm gonna be there. I wanted to hang out. Going as a fan can be very freeing, though chatting with friends while people try to buy things can be weird. Sure. Knowing some people who throw your pack under the table is incredibly useful. Yeah. All right, let's figure this out. We are on. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Clank hype. Yeah. So Clank is one of my favorite games, and I just don't have anybody to play with. And the new Pyramid version of Clank looks freaking awesome, but I'm just kind of here, not playing it. Because I've barely played any of the, what is the one with the splashes? The previous one. I've barely played any of that, and then I've barely played any of I've played more online Clank than I have with Tabletop Simulator than I have in real life. So I'm like, man, why do I own these things? Also, side note, I'm complaining about how I don't have any time to play video games or play board games, and I don't have any people to play with, but it still doesn't stop me from buying damn board game. I bought the new Hellboy board game. I got totally sucked in because it has a miniature of a monkey with a gun, and I was like, I can't not. They expect me to not buy that. Of course I'm gonna buy that. And then I bought the new Fireball Island too. You would like the table, but you don't really have enough work to support such an endeavor. You gotta do half tables, man. Find a buddy, do half tables. That's how I started. With a half table, you don't have to feel like you need a ton of work. If you just had 2 minis, you can do a half table. 2 minis, little signing space, done. Yeah, he's got a gun. Yeah, it was irresistible. Irresistible. We're starting to make this look better. I don't know if it looks great yet. I think part of the thing is like I'm fighting with Andy in the mark making with like the hood here. And I should be rolling with Andy, not fighting with Andy. Oh man, look at that. These are colors that I would not have chosen. So we're getting some like interesting stuff going on here. Oh my god, touch. Are you kidding me? Touch screen. So let's try to roll with what Andy's got going on. I'll get the stray bullets to you before you leave. Oh, dude, don't worry about it. We got by the way, speaking of the stray bullets, why don't we talk about that? Give me a second. Let's compose ourselves. Cuz this is going as well as it's going. But we have more pages. Excuse me. We have more pages turned in from the ultimate portfolio. What is this that Boyk's linked in chat? Yeah. We could cut to this. He's got a gun. Yeah. Unfortunately, it is not a Donkey Kong version of that he's got a gun. But yeah, we got Barry Colors did flats for. He was the one who did all these flats first of all, but he also did the next wave flats. We're gonna have to correct these a little bit because I want to get the word balloons in white. He did it in some places, didn't do it in all places, and we might tweak this guy a little bit. If I were hiring him as a flatter, I'd be like, we got to fix all these things, but we'll talk about that because I do want to talk about flats. And then we have one stray bullets page. And we're waiting on the second one from Kaufman in the chat right now. Put pressure on him. Put emotional pressure on him. And then, of course, the bone pages are still left too. So yeah, once everything's in, then we'll be able to get going with putting the portfolio out there. And I'll make like a little video that's like, hey, here's the reasons why I put all these things in here. Here's why you should be interested in this, blah blah blah, blah. Here's the goals of each page. I mean, we talked about goals in the last stream. You guys, I assume at home, have at this point figured out what your goals are and have eliminated everything in your life that does not follow that path, right? That's an easy thing to do in like 2 days, right? So now that you've done that, let's talk about the goals for art. Like, not only am I thinking about goals for art for the ultimate portfolio, but I'm also thinking about putting together goals for art. Working on the second page right now. Tons of stuff on that second page. Yeah. But I also think about goals just in general with drawing. Like, I have like kind of a running list of stuff that's these are goals for me. Like, I'm trying to get a little more cartoony with like human form. By the way, these last gradients, this is what I was talking about. Like, this is kind of a visual nightmare, but like put some gradients over it, soften it up a little, and it starts to look right. I'm trying to figure out where all that blue is coming from. Hello. That blue is this blue. We either need to put more blue in or less blue in the fur. So yeah, I have like with the sketchbook challenge, like a running list of stuff that I'm like trying to emotionally wrap my mind around. Um, Cartooning the human form is one of them. I just started working on pencils for a little domino sketch, and one of the things that I struggled with the domino sketch was I was like I don't know where to. I am using the layer mask method in all of its glory. Um, with the domino piece, I was kind of like, I don't know where to put her hands. Like, this is kind of a problem that I've been having lately. I don't know if you guys can hear that. The lawn guys are right outside my window. So, yeah. Oh, by the way. Oh, look at that. Are we in heaven now? Have we fully converted to the layer method? Because like I was like, "Oh, we need a high highlight." And I was like over here, and then we went to the other side of the freaking hue, and I'm like, maybe we don't need to make it that high. Maybe we can do something like this. Is this good though? Are we... Whoa. That's turning off the color balance. Maybe we fade the color balance? Have we hit a point where there's too many options? Like, it used to be I would just color the thing, and then it would have clear purpose, and then it was done. And now I'm like, oh, there's too many options. I have no idea what we're doing. Maybe too many options? Maybe. I wonder if we can kind of get maybe some of this purple. Appreciate the support, Steve. Let's get some of this purple and just kind of like put it more into this fade. We're gonna fix this edge, by the way. Let's do the same down here. Just a little bit so that we kind of like don't overpower the thing. Give it form and depth and all that. But yeah, man, whenever I'm sketching, I find that like put the shoulders in, no problem, torso, face, no problem. Hands, I'm like warming up to, but then I'm like, where do elbows go? I don't know. Like, how does she hold things? It's the same. This is coming from the same place as like all of my anxieties when I first started going to parties in high school. Is like, I don't know where to put my hands while I talk to you. Is anybody, what are hands? Like, that is where my head goes when I'm like drawing as well. I don't know if that's a me thing. I don't know if that's a regular thing or what, but it's weird. It's weird and it makes me uncomfortable. All right, we're trying to kind of polish up this edge a little bit. Time to start taking embarrassing photograph. Start taking? Huh. Weird. It's funny when like I'm drawing like a sexy lady like Domino. I'll be like, how do the hips work? And I'll like get in the mirror. Kate says that's normal. Also, what the hell are hands? Yeah, right? I'll be like, okay, I gotta figure out this sexy lady Domino, and then I'll like be in the mirror being like, you know, like giving the mirror the sassy business. And then my fiance will be like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, figuring out how hips work. I don't know. uh, they don't call you Sassy Business Filardi for nothing. I have many nicknames. I don't know if that nickname works that well in the streets. Sassy Business. Sassy Business. Show them why we call you that. You read a good tip one time when shaping hips to think of them in the shape of underwear. Oh yeah, dude's hips more boxies, lady's hips more angular. Yeah. That's a good tip. Your buddy Andrew takes all kinds of photo reference, did a whole series of bad photoshops of them. Yeah, I have a few weird weird photo references on my phone. The thing is like I feel like I need to, if I want to get like good photo ref, I need to start like figuring out how a timer works or roping my fiance into taking weird pictures of me. And I don't know. I don't know. Will that change our relationship? Will that bring it to the next level? Who's to say? We're just putting in fine details now. I think we are mostly done. Oh, we got to do the smoke out of the mouth. So I kind of want to do this above the line, all right? We're going above the rim. Let's see if we can just... Actually, also... A little pink in there. Nick hips don't lie. Oh my god. At a certain point, I'm gonna need a series of business cards with all of my nicknames on them. You may know me as Nick Hips Don't Lie Filardi. I don't know why you would. Well, that's between me and my cell phone. Please don't get it twisted. All right, we're above the rim. Oh man, I do not like covering up all this cool stuff going on in here. Here's a tip, by the way. You can use any brush in Photoshop. This brush right here, you know. Well, we're using it as an eraser, but like we can use the regular brush. See, regular brush. So we have the regular brush here. If you set it up to clear, which is this option right here. I think you mean business pogs. If you set it to clear, it'll act like an eraser. So you can kind of like figure out what you need to do. And I think that's all we got to do for the burnout. One other thing that I kind of want to do is pull focus a little bit. Let's put another screen layer down. And put like just kind of like some lens flare-y kind of stuff behind her. I don't know if the orange is what we want to do. We can mess with it a little bit. Kind of like that blue. Maybe erase it a little bit down here. so it's less overpowering. Also, so we spent like forever on the hood. How did I set it to clear? So if you go into the brush, so like it's just it right here in the regular mode where it says like normal, multiply, whatever. I mean, you can't do it on the background. That's the only thing. Is like if you tweak it on the background, you can't set it to clear. But yeah, it's in the normal options where screen and multiply are. By the way, the weird thing about this is like I still have the flats down here. Like if we color shift the flats, is this whole thing gonna shift? Oh my god. This is weird as fuck. Like, how does anyone work this way? There's too many goddamn options. Too many options. Burn it all down. We're never gonna... He's hooked, chat. We're never gonna be able to move on from this image. We're gonna make 40 versions of this cover. Good lord. I also kind of want to just kind of fade it at the bottom a little bit. Maybe also put like a little highlight on the dome. Oh, we're not on the right layer for that. So the reason that we put a highlight on the bottom is because A, we love color. Variant blind boxes when, yeah, right? A, we love color. And I love color. And I want color in my stuff that is colored. So, like Andy decided, you know, that like all this kind of area down here is not important. He blacked out most of it. Like Andy could have drawn all the hair and everything, but like where he wants this is like hood face done. So like instead of like getting bogged down in this, we can push it further back. We can make it more similar. Yeah. So we're doing a Warhol Pop version, 9x9 kaleidoscope of colors. Yeah. I mean, we do have that option. So like we're blending everything in the bottom, which is making all of this like draw your eye more. Your eye is where I want it rather than where it, like wandering all over the place. We've pulled focus. The other thing that I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we really want to do for this cover. Oh, we wanted to add that little so-and-so. I don't even know if we need it. We don't need it. Maybe add a highlight on the lips because it is the beauty and it is about beauty. Part of the reason why I pulled that grad too is because I wanted to drown out the scarf. The scarf was like kind of overpowering everything as well. So we were kind of like ending up in a weird place. But yeah, since it is the beauty and it is about being beautiful, let's like pop the lips a little bit. Maybe we can pop the shine on the nose just a little bit more. So we kind of create like a ramp runway. This looks weird, right guys? When we zoom in, a little bit weird. Let's fix that. Is that this? Is that this? Oh, we're playing this game now. Where is that? Where is that thing? All right. I think, despite all of our frustration, this is a cover. Yeah, no, Beauty 25th anniversary. No, just Beauty 25 cover B. This is the variant for the Beauty number 25. After all that frustration, here we are. I think we've achieved where we wanted to be. Not to blush the cheeks and nose. Okay, so in the Beauty, looks like it'd be cold after all. Oh, we could add a little bit of snow. The reason we didn't blush the cheeks and the nose is in the Beauty, the book is about an STD that is will make you beautiful. So, oh, did we lose? I thought the lips were more shiny. I thought we popped the lips more. Did I like run that over? I think I ran that over. We can go back and do it. So yeah, it's an STD that makes you beautiful. Like you contract the STD, you become beautiful, fat melts off, you're cut like soup. You're like, you look fantastic. You're gorgeous in every sense of the word. You're a 10. So everybody's like, oh, I want to get this beauty STD. I want to get this beauty STD. And then the Beauty eventually destroys you. Like you burn from the inside out and you turn into like this porcelain kind of thing. So what happens, and this is kind of like what you're left with, this porcelain kind of like husk. So that's why we didn't make, I was gonna, if this was normal, I would blush out the cheeks more. She looks like she's made of porcelain. She looks like very, very white. And if this was a regular cover of like a regular person, then I absolutely would blush out the cheeks. Now I forgot what we were doing. Oh, we were adding in snow. Also, I'm messing with shit. Because apparently, now we're never going to stop messing with this. Wait, that sounds like vampirism? Yeah, kind of. Let's use this guy. So obviously this is like too busy for snow, but we can kind of use like a chunky eraser to kind of, and we obviously don't want a ton of snow where we want the focus. So, but like, if you're a vampire and you love that premise, you should pick it up. There's 25 issues for you to pick up. I think they're actually maybe only up to issue 20 in stands right now. I started on, let me find it before I show you everything that I'm working on and all the secret projects. Yeah, it's a cool premise. I started on my first cover was number 17. So that snow makes it look 12 out of 10. Yeah, right? We get in there. This is all about the slow grind to us figuring out how to get there. Like when I started this, 22 comes out in August, 23 in September. There you go. Fourth trade just came out. Yeah, they've been running it for a long time. Jeremy did if you're a fan of The Realm, which I'm a fan of The Realm because I work on The Realm and I love The Realm. If you're a fan of the art on The Realm, Jeremy did the first, I want to say 2 trades for the Beauty. I know he did the first trade. I think he did the second. Nayoung Kim is coloring the Beauty now. And because I'm on the covers, they get delivered to the house and I see them. And if comics get delivered to me, I read them. That's kind of how it works. I'm an easy target. And Nayoung does a terrific job with the color. She is very, very talented. Pop those lips. So yeah, you should pick up the Beauty if that sounds like something that you're into. Probably go with trade paperbacks. Yeah. Especially if you're like, I'm gonna get the variants. Like, this is a variant. This is Andy MacDonald. By the way, fun fact: Andy MacDonald, first artist that I ever worked with, ever. We did a book called NYC Mech together for Image. That was my first project back in 2004, I want to say. Maybe 2005. Don't track it down. It was a long time ago. Just leave it in the past. In fact, I didn't actually work on that with him. Everything's fine. Don't look it up. Yeah. So, by the way, real quick before we end. By the way, this cover came out great. I had a great time, even though it was frustrating near the end. I feel like this result, there's a lot of stuff going on in this image that I would not normally have happen. There's a lot of like color choices that I didn't really make that, like, by changing our tools and changing our methods, we ended up with. And I think that that there's a lesson in there somewhere that you should try to try new things. Like, you should try to get out of your comfort zone. If you've been doing something the same way for a while, experiment and find places to experiment. Like, experimenting with covers is fantastic. Like, this is the place that you should play. Thank you very much, Dallas. I will leave you with one quick story from Heroes Con, this past Heroes Con. So Nayoung Kim is doing the colors for the Beauty, and it looks great. Her work is great, and she does not like to. She doesn't table, but she comes to shows. She's been coming to shows for a while, and she's looking for work. If you guys are out there and you're working on something cool and you need a colorist that pays a nice rate, you can hire her. She's available. In a sense, you gave up some control for unpredictability, much like traditional inkers do. Yeah, exactly. Nick, maybe I learned something Fulardi. Next up, hard light style. Yeah, this was something. But anyway, the point is that, like, she's great. I love the book. I'm a big supporter. She was at my table. We were shooting the shit. I've known her for a long time. And somebody came up with copies of the Beauty to sign that she had worked on. She is on the banner head. I'm not on the banner head. I just do the covers. And I sign them, and I'm like, Nayoung worked on this. She's the regular colorist. And the girl was like, really? And I was like, yeah. I was like, you should get her to sign. And Nayoung's like, no, please, no. Please, God, no. So I guilted her into signing these books, and she begrudgingly signed these Beauty issues. And I asked her, I was like, so how many Beauty issues have you signed at this show? And she was like, you just saw me. I was like, how many have you signed overall? And she was like, that's it. Like, the ones that I pressured her into were the only ones that she had signed. So if you are that girl out there with your copies of the Beauty signed by Nayoung, I think that you're the only one out there with copies signed by Nayoung. At any rate, this is why shows are great, and you should come to shows and hang out. So the Beauty cover is down. We are going to be back to Batman, but I'm not sure if we're going to be back to Batman until next week, next Tuesday. I'm settling in on like Tuesday, Thursdays. I'm going to try to stream this weekend, but like, I'm going to be honest with you. This studio is like a fucking wreck right now, and I might spend one day just trying to like make sense of all of this. I have a piece of furniture coming, and I'm going to be trying to set up like how, like, doing video game streams with a box, like a what do they call it, capture card. We're going to maybe do some Switch stuff. She's on the banner, but they don't have her linked in the image page. Oh, that's some bullshit. She is on the. She is her last name is Kim. Um. Variant cover is Annie MacDonald on this one too. Oh man, on the one you linked, the variant cover is Annie MacDonald, and I think we did a better job. Weirdly, used kind of the same color scheme as the first cover that I did. Maybe I'm in a rut. Maybe these layers will get me out of that rut. I don't know. Find out next time on twitch.tv/nickfil/subscribe. Anyway, you might see me this weekend. If you don't, I'm going to be back on Tuesday. We're going to finish off that city behind Batman. It's going to look gorgeous. It looks dull as fuck right now, but it's going to look gorgeous by the time we're done with it. Their mouths are open on all the covers because they're burning out. They're like, you got to read it. You got to read it. You just finished Stray Bullets sending you now? Yes. This is Nick Sassy Business Filardi signing out. Guys, keep making comics. I'll see you next time.